Hello! It's that time again. It's time for August TBR game. How summer is going by so quickly and it makes me sad. Ugh. But then fall will be here soon, which is my favorite time of year, so I guess I shouldn't be that sad. Anyway, it is time to get into the rolls, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, here we go. As usual, I've got my camera lifted up as zoomed out as I can, and we'll see what part of the board we can see. Let's move this guy out of the way. We'll start with the blue pie, and let's go with our first roll. 4. I have been starting with a middle grade, but I kind of want to start with a YA. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. I'm going to put a pink pie in there and shuffle the cards. I have lots of fun prompts, or at least I think they're fun, that I made when I made all these cards, and I want to be able to use some of them. So let's see if we can get a good one. Supernatural. Roll number 1 got us a YA Supernatural, and for this one I'm going to go with Your Blood, My Bones by Kelly Andrew. This is a special edition from Owl Crate, so I don't think the regular cover looks like this. For some reason I'm thinking it's like a close-up of 2 hands, maybe. Anyway, let's read what this one is about. Wyatt Westlock had one plan for the farmhouse she's just inherited, to burn it to the ground. But during her final walkthrough of her childhood home, she makes a shocking discovery in the basement. Peter, the boy she once considered her best friend, strung up in chains and left for dead. It's a bit Cask of Amontillado, if you ask me. Anyway, unbeknown to Wyatt, Peter has suffered hundreds of ritualistic deaths on her family's property. Semi-immortal, Peter never remains dead for long, but he can't really live either, not while he's bound to the farm. Locked in a cycle of grisly deaths and painful rebirths, there's only one way for him to break free. He needs to end the Westlock line. He needs to kill Wyatt. With Wyatt's parents gone, the spells protecting the property have begun to unravel, and dark ancient forces gather in the nearby forest. The only way for Wyatt to repair the spells is to work with Peter, the one person who knows how to harness her volatile magic. But how can she trust a boy who's sworn an oath to destroy her? When the past turns up to haunt them in the most unexpected way, they are forced to rely on one another to survive, or else tear each other apart. Are they going to fall in love in the process? I don't know. Roll number 2. Whoa, scoot it back here. That's 3, so we can go 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. Let's go out to the outer ring. We've got yellow. Yellow is fantasy. And give me something good, please. Play Spookopalathon. Okay, I've got my mini Spookopalathon board from Becca. Becca in the Books, and it's a Halloween themed readathon, but I kept the game board after I made it because it was so much fun. So, okay, we're gonna use this ink dabber from my latest junk journal project, and we're just gonna pop it in the corner that says Becca Rec, and assume that's the starting place because I don't remember. And let's give it a good roll, please. 3. Candy corn. Okay, so for candy corn, it's supposed to be a sweet book, something that's all vibes and no stakes, maybe a cute romance or a cozy novel. Roll number 2 was a tricky one for me. I'm just gonna say that right now because it's fantasy, so it has to be a fantasy book that I pick, but it's also supposed to be sweet with no stakes, romance or cozy, but by nature, fantasy has stakes in it. Like, I mean, even a book like Books, Shops, and Bone Dust, even though it's very cozy and stuff, it's not super high stakes, there are some stakes in place there. So what I did was pick a book that looks kind of sweet and like it won't be too much, but still fantasy. And so that is The Inquisitor's Tale, or The Three Magical Children and Their Holy Dog. This is a Newbery Honor Book by Adam Gidwitz, and it is one that I got on my recent trip to a fun bookstore in Pocatello, Idaho. If you're in that area, go to Hares and Hatters Bookshop. It just recently opened and the owner is so sweet. But anyway, this one says, on a dark night in 1242, travelers gather at their small French inn, a small French inn. It is the perfect night for a story, and everyone in the kingdom is consumed by the tale of 3 children. Jean, a peasant girl who has visions of the future. William, a young monk with supernatural strength. And Jacob, a Jewish boy who can heal any wound. Together their powers will be tested by demons and dragons, cruel knights and cunning monks. From small villages to grand banquet halls, these 3 unlikely friends and their faithful greyhound are chased through France to a final showdown in the waves at the foot of the Abbey Fortress of Mont Saint-Michel. This one, I think I showed you in the haul, but it also has some fun illustrations, which I think it helps add to the cozy light vibe. I don't know. That's the best one I could find. Let's go for roll number 3. 5. 1, 2, oops, stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orange up here, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green down here. Let's go for the orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A book with no magic. So it could be any genre, but has to have no magic. Roll number 3 got us miscellaneous, no magic. So I have a Reese Witherspoon book called Pick. This is 12th Night by Alexine Farrell Falmouth. And you might think with the knight and the sword on there's got to be some kind of magical thing happening, but there's not. It's a gaming situation. So let's read this. Viola Reyes is annoyed. Her painstakingly crafted tabletop game campaign was shot down, and her best friend is suggesting she try being more likable. And her school star running back, Jack Orsino, is the most lackadaisical student body president she's ever seen, which makes her job as VP that much harder. Vi's favorite escape from the world is the MMORPG. I think that stands for multiplayer online role game. I'm not sure what the 2 M's, something massive multi? You guys probably know. Online role-playing game, anyway. 12th Night. But online spaces aren't exactly kind to girls like her, girls who are extremely competent and have the swagger to prove it. So Vi creates a masculine alter ego, choosing to play as a knight named Cesario to create a safe haven for herself. Now, are you recognizing some of these names? Cesario, Orsino. Those names come from the Shakespeare play 12th Night. Okay, so does Viola. But when a football injury leads Jack Orsino to the world of 12th Night, Vi is alarmed to discover their online alter egos, Cesario and Duke Orsino, are surprisingly well matched. As the long nights of gameplay turn into discussions about life and love, Vi and Jack soon realize they become more than just weapon-wielding characters in an online game. But Vi has been concealing her true identity from Jack, and Jack might just be falling for her offline. 12th Night is one of my absolute favorite Shakespeare plays. It's usually a tie between this one and Midsummer Night's Dream. I love the comedies. But anyway, I'm excited to read this one. And look, it has sprayed edges. Roll number 4. 2. 1, 2 blue, 1, 2 orange. We already done an orange, so let's come back and do a blue. I'm going to scoot this just a little bit. So blue is blue blank. That is also genreless. And an audiobook. Roll number 4, we got an audiobook, and so I'm going to be reading a book that my cousin Taylor told me needs to go right at the top of my TBR, and that is Dune by Frank Herbert. I'm showing you the physical book here, but I do have it checked out on Libby, and I'm going to read the synopsis here. Set on a desert planet Arrakis, Dune is the story of the boy Paul Atreides, who would become known as Muad'Dib, and of a great family's ambition to bring to fruition humankind's most ancient and unattainable dream. That's all I really know. I know there's movies. I know that it's a big series. It's been around for ages. And that's all I know. I'm going into this rather blindly. I'm a little bit scared. Roll number 5. 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is roll again up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is yellow. Just for funsies, let's go here. Roll again. And 1, orange or yellow. Let's go yellow. Why not? If the volume of my voice is fading in and out weirdly, it's because when I move the game board towards me, or downward, I have to scoot back away from the camera. So now I'm kind of standing hunched over the board. Yellow, a creature of any kind on the cover. Rule number 5, we got another fantasy and it needed a creature of any kind on the cover. I recently got a book in my Owl Crate box that I really, really want to read, and it does have birds on it. So there are the birds there, and this is Sleep Like Death by Kaylin Bayron. She is the author of Cinderella is Dead, and this is a Snow White retelling or reimagining. This says, Eve is ready to be the queen's sword, to be her vengeance. Princess Eve was raised with one purpose, to destroy the night. Far too many generations of Queensbridge have been terrorized by this evil sorcerer's trickery. Eve's own unique magic, the ability to conjure weapons from nature, makes her a worthy adversary. As she approaches her 17th birthday, Eve is ready to battle, but her mother, Queen Regina, has been acting bizarrely, talking to a strange mirror alone every night. Then a young man claiming to be the night's messenger appears and shares a shocking truth about Eve's past. Unsure of who to trust, Eve must find the courage to do what she's always done. Fight. But will it be enough to save her family and her queendom? Very, very excited about this one. Have we looked at this back? It's like got cracked mirror on it. It says, looking glass on the wall. Who in this land is the fairest of all? I'm sure I showed you this when I did the Owl Crate unboxing, but anyway. Roll number 6. 1. Rolligan or brown. I don't mind doing a brown, but a Rolligan might give me a chance to move the board. I don't know. Let's just do a brown. So brown is realistic fiction, and for this one, Sarah Renee card pick. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. Number 6, we got a realistic fiction using the Sarah Renee cards. Now, if you're not aware, Sarah Renee Clark is an artist. I believe she's Australian. And she has created these color cubes with just tons of different color palettes that you can use for art inspiration. So I'm going to be pulling a random card out. So this is just to show you an example of what they look like. This color palette's obviously got some corals and reds and stuff in it with that bird there. But what we're going to do is use a random number generator to help us decide which card to pick. Because Miss Sarah has created 2 boxes full of these prompt cards that look like this. So there are 500 prompts. I'm going to hit the generate 3 times, and the third number that lands on is the color palette that we have to match a realistic fiction book to. Can we do this? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Number 95. Okay, here we go. Wow. We've got quite a bit to work with. We've got some browns, yellow, orange, and green. This jar of sunflowers is the inspiration. So I'm going to take a minute and look at my shelves and see what I've got. And it has to be realistic. Whew. Okay, I can do this. I can totally do this. All right, I think I found one that will work. So I have Lisa Jewell, None of This Is True. And if I hold up this card, we've got some of the yellows and stuff here. We've got the green. It's looking better in real life than on the camera for some reason. It was the only one that I could find that was remotely close that was realistic fiction, because I found another one that looked pretty good color-wise, but it was not realistic at all. So anyway, we're going with this one, whether it's a great match or not. So this one says, celebrating her 45th birthday at the hot new local pub, popular podcaster Alex Summer crosses paths with an unassuming woman called Josie Fair. Josie, it turns out, is also celebrating her 45th birthday. They are, in fact, birthday twins. A few days later, Alex and Josie bump into each other again, this time outside Alex's children's school. Josie's been listening to Alex's podcast and thinks she might be an interesting subject for her series. She tells Alex, on the cusp of great changes in her life. Josie's life appears to be strange and complicated, although Alex finds her unsettling. She can't quite resist the temptation to keep going on this project. Slowly, she starts to realize that Josie is hiding some very dark secrets, and before she knows it, Josie has inveigled her way into Alex's life and into her home. Oh, this is scary. But as quickly as she had arrived, Josie Fair disappears. Only then does Alex discover that Josie has left a terrible and terrifying legacy in her wake, and that Alex has become the subject of her own true crime podcast, with her life and her family's lives in grave danger. I've heard a lot of people talking about this. I was at a book event recently and they were talking about this again, how much they liked it. So we're going to give it a try. Well, we're halfway there. Whoa. New circle on the square. I don't know. That was terrible, but it's the way I could make the rhyme work. So starting with rolls 7 through 12 with this green pie, and we're gonna go for roll number 7. 3. 1, 2, 3 orange, 1, 2, 3 pink. Let's go pink. Libby find. Number 7, we got YA and a Libby find. I decided to try to help myself with something. Kingdom of the Feared. I got about a quarter of the way through, and then I just got distracted by other books and then never come back to it. So I found it on Libby, and I'm gonna restart at the beginning. This is the 3rd book in the trilogy, so I'm not gonna start at the beginning of the whole trilogy, but I'm going to start at the beginning of this one and hopefully get through it this time. Maybe having the audiobook will help me as well. So because this is the 3rd book in a series, I can't really tell you much other than in the 1st book, we have a main character who makes a deal with one of the fates, or one of the 7 princes of hell, and things go crazy after that. Like, her sister was killed, which is what led her to making the deal in the first place, but then not only do feelings start to develop with this certain prince, but then we also have a lot of insanity happening. I don't know how else to describe it. Janie, if you're watching this, help me. How do I describe this? Anyway, I'm gonna see if I can finish Kingdom of the Feared by Carrie Maniscalco. Roll number 8. 1, blue or blue. Blue pie in there. Sky in the title or on the cover. Roll number 8 was blue blank, sky in the title or on the cover. Now I have a book, actually a trio of books that I need to get to soon because they were gifted to me by the author. So if you saw a recent haul, you know that I won an arc of this book here, Favorite Things the Far Island. This is the 3rd book in a series of little teeny tiny books. We have Favorite Things, and then Favorite Things Chosen of Belderon, and then Favorite Things the Far Island. The author very kindly gifted me all 3 of the books, and I need to read those soon so I can write my review. And because 2 out of the 3 have sky on them, I am going to read all 3 of these to count for this one prompt. I guess I should tell you what they're about. I'll read the synopsis of book number 1. When Leo and his friends discover a hidden cave, they are excited to explore it. They stumble upon a real treasure chest and can't believe their luck. But that's not all they find in the cave. They soon learn it's a magical chest with an incredible secret, a mysterious past, and an ancient message. To unravel the secret, they'll need to work together, follow mysterious clues, and embark on a magical adventure unlike any other in this exciting fantasy novel for young readers. I wouldn't call this a novel. I mean, look how tiny it is. Let's see how many pages. 104. Yeah, this is definitely a novella. I mean, look at the size of the print on the pages. But it's self-published, and the author, like I said, didn't have to, but gifted me all 3 of the books, so I definitely want to get to them soon for her. All right, we're right here, and we're gonna go for roll number 9. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Roll again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yellow. Let's go to yellow. All right, it's right here just on the edge. I can't get the game board moved over much more. Oh, there we go. That's a tiny bit better. I could just make myself a shrunken down version of a Trivial Pursuit board, I suppose, but who wants to do that? Random letter generator, a fantasy random letter generator. Roll number 9, we need a fantasy book and we have to use a random letter generator. So I will screen record, and like I usually do, I will hit the generator 3 times. Okay, J is our letter. So I could use that for author's name or title. I'd like to go with title, maybe? Let's see what we can find. To be honest, I was hoping to get the letter D because I really want to read The Darkness Within Us by Trisha Levenseller, but I couldn't make it fit any of the prompts, so maybe that'll be like a bonus read for the month. If I have time, I'll get to it. Anyway, let's find a J. I know what I can do. Work smarter, not harder. I'm gonna find my Goodreads like physical TBR list and alphabetize it and see if that will help. I only have one book that's title starts with J, and I really don't want to read it right now. So let's do the author's name. I got one. We have Dark Shores by Danielle L. Jensen. There's a ship. A sailor with the will of iron. Tariana is the second mate of the Quincence, a ship beholden to the goddess of the seas. Her people are born of the waves, and they alone know how to cross the impassable oceans between east and west. A soldier with a secret. Marcus is the commander of the 37th, the notorious legion that has led the Selendor Empire to conquer the entire east. The legion is his only family, but even they don't know the secret he's been hiding since childhood. A dangerous quest. When an Empire senator discovers the existence of the Dark Shores, he captures Tariana's crew and threatens to reveal Marcus's secret unless they sail in pursuit of conquest, forcing the two into an unlikely and unwilling alliance. They unite for the sake of their families, but both must decide how far they're willing to go and how much they are willing to sacrifice. Now I have 3 rolls left and I haven't got any middle grades yet. Of course, some of the categories are genreless, so I could maybe put a middle grade in there somewhere, but I kind of feel weird not having a middle grade since this game is inspired by Jade. Let's see what happens in the last rolls. Roll number 10. 1, which is brown or brown. We'll do this brown. Realistic fiction. 1-word title. That might be tricky. For roll number 10, we got a realistic fiction with a 1-word title, and I found one. This is Parked by Daniel Svetkov. Jean Ann is smart, stubborn, living in an orange van, and determined to find a permanent address before the start of 7th grade. Cal is tall, sensitive, living in a humongous house across the street, and determined to save her. Jean Ann is roughly as enthusiastic about Cal's help as she is about living in a van. But as the two form a rare and remarkable friendship, they're buoyed by a cast of complex, oddball characters who let them down, lift them up, and leave you cheering. Roll number 11. 1, 2, 3, roll again. 1, 2, 3, pink. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, roll again. 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to get a green. I think we did it. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, green. Yay! Middle grade. A book that keeps tempting you. Okay. Rule number 11 is a middle grade that keeps tempting you. And this book I haven't had for a very long time, but every time I come into this room and see it on the shelf, I'm like, oh, I really want to read that one. So this is 12th by Janet Key. It came in an Alcrate Junior, like a pass box that I had ordered. And this one says, people aren't always what they play. 12-year-old Marin is sure theater camp isn't for her. Theater camp is for loud, confident, artsy people like her older sister Hadley, the last person Marin wants to think about, and her cinema-obsessed, non-binary bunkmate Theo. But when a prank goes wrong, Marin gets drawn into the hunt for a diamond ring that legend has it is linked to the camp's namesake, Charlie Goodman, a promising director in Black Era Hollywood. When Marin connects the clues to Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, she and her new friends are off searching through lighting booths, orchestra pits, and costume storage, discovering the trail and dodging camp counselors. But they're not the only ones searching for the ring, and with the growing threat of a camp closing forever, they're almost out of time. So a second book that has ties to Twelfth Night by Shakespeare, which is exciting as well for me. Maybe I'll do a little comparison and see which one's better. Last roll, number 12. Roll number 12. 1, orange or roll again. Can you even see that? It's barely up in the corner. Orange or roll again. Let's just go orange. We rolled again twice in the last one. Let's take what fate has dealt us. Orange is miscellaneous, and ooh! A book with a map. And roll number 12, we got a miscellaneous book with a map. I am going to read Children of Anguish and Anarchy. Look at her. Look at her. Oh, we have beautiful sprayed edges, and yes, indeed, we have a map. All of the Orisha books have maps in them. This is the third in the trilogy, so again, I don't really like to read to you the synopsis of a third book. So I'm going to share with you the synopsis of the first book, Children of Blood and Bone. The physical copy that I own is in my classroom, so I'm just going to read the synopsis from Goodreads. They killed my mother. They took our magic. They tried to bury us. Now we rise. Zili Adebola remembers when the soil of Orisha hummed with magic. Burners ignited flames, tiders beckoned waves, and Zili's Reaper mother summoned 4 souls. But everything changed the night magic disappeared. Under the orders of a ruthless king... It's just rude. Under the orders of a ruthless king, Maji were killed, leaving Zili without a mother and her people without hope. Now Zili has one chance to bring back magic and strike against the monarchy. With the help of a rogue princess, Zili must outwit and outrun the crown prince, who is hellbent on eradicating magic for good. Danger lurks in Orisha, where snow leopards prowl and vengeful spirits wait in the waters. Yet the greatest danger may be Zili herself, as she struggles to control her powers and growing feelings for an enemy. I will tell you what I always tell my students. There is a scene in this book where I was so entranced in what was going on, and due to also what was happening in the scene, I felt like I was swimming in blood. It's not a light-hearted fantasy adventure. But it's been ages since the second book came out, so I'm very excited to get back into this one. I might have to read some synopsis just to remind me of everything that happened since I read the last one, but there we go. So let me pick up the books, please. A few of those pies, please. Okay, I think it's fair to say I've got enough to read in the month of August. Also, school's gonna be starting at the end of the month. Gross. So I've got to get going right on my reads. I hope you guys have a great reading month in August and that you've had a great reading month in July. Drop me a comment in the space below and let me know how your reading's going this summer. Have a wonderful, magical, and bookish day. Happy reading. Adios.